Today in Portland, Oregon, it's going to be 102 degrees Fahrenheit. So I need to get the heck out of town, and quick. I'm going to do an overnight adventure to the Oregon coast. And normally I would take my Himalayan 450. But unfortunately, Jenny here needs a little bit of work. So instead we're going to take my new Trident 660. A bike not necessarily made for a road trip in. Or is it? Let's find out.
Well, we haven't even made it 10 miles, and I'm already freaking lost. Every navigation system that I'm trying to use is failing me, and the temperature is starting to climb up. I was really hoping to get over towards the coast a lot quicker than I am, because the quicker I get towards the coast, the quicker the temperature drops. Like I said, it's going to be 102 in the city, but on the coast it's going to be like in the 60s, maybe low 70s if we're lucky. And that sounds like a bit of a oasis to me. But getting there is the problem. So we'll pull over here, see what we can do. We're gonna go down I-5, we're gonna cut over, and we're gonna come down 101 down the Oregon coast to Coquille, which is where we're going to end up today. I've already been on the road for like 45 minutes and I've gotten nowhere. So let's pop on the freeway on the old Trident 660. See how she does. If I can plug this in. There we go. Okay. I'm hot. I need to get some air. I need to get on the road. This is all getting a little bit too much. So as I alluded to earlier, I'm on the Trident 660 today because the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 needs a little bit of work. The problem is it's got this pull to the right and it needs some fixing, because if I accidentally take my hands off the handlebars for even a second, the bike just wants to dip to the right. This isn't a huge problem if you keep your hands on the handlebars, but here's what happened the other night. I was driving down the road and something went funky with one of my gloves, so I had to take both hands off to fix it. I was on this road called Marine Drive. It's in northeast Portland, and it's fairly notorious for being a dangerous road. It's like fast and it runs along the Columbia River, and there's all kinds of accidents. Well, I almost ended up in the Columbia River because I was driving down the road, had to fix my glove, took my hands off the handlebars, and the bike pulled to the right real hard. And yeah, I almost went for a swim. So that's when I decided, okay, maybe I'm gonna wait and have this thing fixed before I spend too much more time on it. So that's going in next week, hopefully to get fixed up. And until then, I'm basically just using it for around town stuff. I don't want to take it on the highway. It doesn't feel comfortable to stand up on because it pulls, and most of the time when I'm riding, I kind of have to fight with it to keep it going straight, and that gets tiring after a while, both physically and mentally. So it goes in Wednesday, it'll get fixed, and then we'll be back on the road. Lone Rider sent me these awesome rackless panniers that I can't wait to try out. So hopefully in one of my next videos, it'll be an overnight adventure fully loaded up on the Himalayan with my new Lone Rider panniers. That should be fun. So I'm road tripping on the old Trident, and I'm on the freeway for some god-awful reason for the next 33 miles. Oh god. The only thing I took with me, as far as luggage goes, is this backpack. In the backpack I have an extra shirt, I've got a little bit of camera gear, I've got a spare pair of undies, a pair of shoes, and a tire repair kit. That's all I took. Oh, and a credit card so that I could pay for the motel that I'm staying in Coquille, Oregon, which is just inland from the Oregon coast. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's a really neat place. I got the Bigfoot room, so that should be interesting. Anyway, I'll check in when things get more interesting. We're at our first little stop of the day. We're in a little town, I think it's called Bellevue, and that's just outside of McMinnville, Oregon. And I've been here before, and there was something that was compelling me to stop at this country store, and I couldn't remember what it was until I got inside. And that's when I realized that that's where I bought one of my favorite stickers that I've ever seen in my entire life. And so I bought another one for $4, but it's totally worth it, because, I mean, you can't beat that sticker. Try. You can try, but you're not going to beat that sticker. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to go on the bike. Yeah. No, it's definitely going right there. Let's just put this right on right now, because that's the best thing ever. Yes. Okay, it's a little bubbly, but oh no, I got it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Okay, I gotta eat my snack, have some Gatorade, and we'll get back on the road. Okay, it says it's 99.5 degrees, and that's just because we've been sitting in the sun, but it's definitely getting up there. It's definitely in the upper 80s. Okay. We're 16 minutes away from Lincoln City, Oregon, and the temperature has already dropped almost 20 degrees. It's 73.5 degrees out now where I am. So you can't really beat that. Eventually, I'm probably going to have to turn on my heated grips. Probably not, but we'll see. Anyway, let's keep it going. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm not the only one who decided to leave the city today and get into the cooler weather. Well, so, it being 102 degrees in the city and most of the rest of the state, and, you know, in the low 70s here on the Oregon coast, you can see that I may not have been the only one who had the idea to, you know, seek cooler temperatures. So now I'm stuck behind a, shitload of traffic, and we're not even at the coast yet. We're like 13 minutes away from Lincoln City. This might be a good time to talk about how the little Trident 660 here is holding up on its first little motorcycle adventure. So the first thing I'll say is, obviously, a middleweight naked roadster isn't necessarily the ideal motorcycle for motorcycle travel. Now, that doesn't mean it can't do it, and that doesn't mean it's actually not quite fun. It's just that, you know, you can't carry a whole bunch of stuff with you. The seating position is a little more aggressive than it is on, say, my Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. That's not to say it's uncomfortable, and so far, I don't know, I'm a couple of hours into this trip. A few hours? 3 hours, maybe? I don't know. And I'm not uncomfortable at all. If I rode this motorcycle for, I don't know, like a 500-mile day, I don't know. The only real issue, well, there's two issues. One, there's no wind protection, which doesn't bother me, but I know that that gets on a lot of people's nerves. I'm just not one of those folks. I don't really care if there's a windscreen or not. That's why the windscreen on the Royal Enfield is kind of perfect for me. It's there, it blocks a little bit of wind, but it doesn't cause any buffeting, and I'm fine with it. This one doesn't have any sort of windscreen, but all the wind that's coming at you is clean, it's not turbulent. And so, I'm perfectly fine with that, at least in this type of weather. Getting some air, it's fine. The other issue with this motorcycle for long distance touring is the pegs are up relatively high. So your legs are, you know, they're pretty bent. I could see that getting tiresome after a very long day, but so far for me it's not an issue at all. So, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it would be perfectly fine. So really the main issue with doing long distance touring on this bike, I think, would be lack of luggage options. I'm sure you could rig something up. I mean, I've got a backpack on right now that's got all my bare essentials in it, and that's just fine. I don't love riding with the backpack for a couple of reasons. Makes you a little hotter, and it's not the safest thing in the world. That's why I try to carry as few hard objects as possible back there. I like to, if I'm going to carry a backpack, I like to have soft objects so that if I crashed, it's not going to puncture a kidney or something, or break my spine. Otherwise, this bike is a whole lot of fun to ride on the highway, to ride in the twisties. Sitting in traffic like this, nothing is fun, so whatever. But at least I'm not miserable. I'm flat-footed like crazy on this bike, which is nice, and the bike is super light, and so sitting here in traffic just chilling, I would rather be in this situation than on a 10-foot tall GS or something, but that's just me. Anyway, I'll catch you when the excitement picks up. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ, when you get this thing up in the rev range, it goes. Yikes. Oh. We gotta see this. There it is. You can see the fog coming in or out, or I don't know what it's doing, but my God, that's beautiful. Alright, we're getting close to the hotel. My total ride time for today has been 6 hours and 7 minutes. And I've gone 241 miles, and I'm just about done. I'm knackered. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, and I haven't gone on a long distance ride in a while. And I'm feeling it. Feeling it in my bones. Alright, well, let's find out what's going on here. Get our key and get our move on into our humble abode, which is gonna be an interesting one. No doubt about that. Okay, check this out. This is my room for the night. It's Bigfoot themed. Uh-huh. Look at that. Not bad. I'm like, I don't know, 10 minutes from the coast, 5 minutes from the coast, something like that. 15, I don't know. But this place was $120 for the night. Now, that might sound pricey, but all of the stuff around here is much more expensive. And I don't know, this place is actually kind of cool. It's well done. Let's make sure that the bathroom isn't disgusting, and then it'll get my final seal of approval. Look at that. Perfectly clean. I'm digging it. I guess I can order a pizza, and there's a little place down the street where I can get myself some non-alcoholic beer. What a country. And then I can find Bigfoot.
We got to talk about this pizza I just had delivered from, I want to say it's called Denny's? I'm not really sure. Y'all can be the judge.
Alright, here's the situation. I ate some of that pizza last night, and I was asleep within about 40 minutes. It knocked me out. I don't know why. But I ended up falling asleep in my clothes watching YouTube with my reading glasses on. Which means I didn't plan anything for this ride home. The only thing I know is it's going to be another scorcher in Portland today. It's going to be almost 100 degrees. Right now it's 9:15 here in Coquille. And we're gonna hightail it home before it gets hot. Unfortunately, that's about 4 hours and 7 minutes, mostly on the freeway, I-5 North. And if you think that's going to be any fun, I don't think it is. But I don't really have much of a choice because I do need to get home before it gets roasting, or else I'm screwed. My other option is I could take the back roads back up the coast, but it's going to be a zoo up there, and that whole trip would take me, well, another 8 hours probably, or whatever it is. So that's what I'm doing. Hello. Just check it out from 51. Right. Thank you. You too. All right. Time to go. Off we go. Oh boy. 4 hours to go. Is that really? No, 10, 11, 12, 1. It's going to get me in at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's without stops, and I'm going to have to stop. So it's going to likely get me in at 2:30, 3 o'clock, right at the height of the heat wave. What are you going to do? It's going to be a long day, my friends. A long day. One of the things I like about this bike, as opposed to something like the Street Triple, which I'm not saying I'm not going to own at some point in my life, but one of the things I like about this bike is I don't feel like I'm trying to be someone I'm not. You know what I mean? This bike is really unassuming. You roll up to a group of other bikers and they don't look at you and say, oh, there's like a guy in his mid-50s trying to act like he's 20. Now, with this bike, it kind of suits exactly where I am in life. It's understated, it's fast, but it's kind of a sleeper, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't really care what people think, but I care about trying not to act like someone I'm not. That's what it comes down to, and this bike doesn't give me those vibes, which is nice. So I got that going for me. Anyway, this is the freeway. It's not so bad. I mean, the bike handles it just fine. My helmet's a little noisy. I'm a little noisy. But, oh, America. Alright. The current temperature is 97. Alright then. I'm wearing a black leather jacket because I'm a moron. And, every little part of me, I believe every part, is sweating, so. Whoa, hey! We're not backing up. Come on, person, you can do it. Alright. So, here comes the real fun part. We're gonna sit in traffic for I don't know how long. I've already passed this guy with the thingy there, the buggy, like 6 times today. I'm gonna pop my ass in here. And everyone and everything is going to overheat. Good times. So to wrap it up, I decided I need to get away from the heat. I went all the way to Coquille, Oregon, down the coast, Route 101, the Oregon coast. I got there, ate a pizza, and immediately fell asleep. Woke up this morning, hopped on my bike, and started the journey home. I wouldn't call it the most exciting trip of my life, but they all don't have to be winners, you know. Sometimes just getting out is good enough. I avoided a whole day of 102-degree weather back in Portland. I got to see some beautiful coastline. I got to test out the bike, put some miles on it, get it out of its braking period, see what it could do, and learn whether or not it would be appropriate for any sort of touring and adventuring. And I'd say, yeah, why not? Sport touring. I know I could add bags to it, but I really just don't want to clutter the bike up at all. I just like it as a roadster. I'm gonna sit in this traffic for what feels like ever. I'm gonna bake to death, have a heat stroke, and I'll catch you from the emergency room. And as always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Maybe even hit that like button. Every time you hit that like button, someone comes over and spritzes me with a little cold water. And that's going to help me get home nice and safe. So if you hit that like button, everyone's going to be happy. I will catch you on the next one.